forefathers weren't the Pilgrims. We didn't land on Plymouth Rock. The rock was landed on us.
My grandmother was a full-blooded Iroquois.
I know all of that, Mama.
They don't know this. I am alive because of the blood of a people who never scraped or begged or apologized for what they were. They asked only one thing of this world: to be allowed to be. And I learned through the blood of this people that black isn't beautiful. It isn't ugly. It isn't kinky hair. It isn't straight hair. Black is just black. It broke my heart when you changed your name. I gave you my grandmother's name, a woman who bore 9 children and educated them all. Who held off 6 white men with a shotgun when they tried to drag one of her sons off to jail for not knowing his place. And you had to reach into an African dictionary to find a name that would make you proud.
It comes as a great shock around the age of 5 or 6 or 7 to discover that the flag to which you have pledged allegiance, along with everybody else, has not pledged allegiance to you. It comes as a great shock to discover that Gary Cooper killing off the Indians when you were rooting for Gary Cooper, that the Indians were you.
On the other hand, we are the only true inheritors of the place called America.
That's right. That's right. It belongs to us.
Because we're still outside of it.
It belongs to us, and there's nobody can do anything about that.
And we will get it. If we continue to move. I think it's a guilt.
In ways that one can't quite see yet. We already have it. That's one of the reasons for the panic.
We have to effect it.
Yes.
We have to know it, and we have to make sure that everybody else...
We have to change it.
Our destiny is tied up in the destiny of America. Before the Pilgrim Fathers landed at Plymouth, we were here. Before Jefferson etched across the pages of history the majestic words of the Declaration of Independence, we were here. Before the beautiful words of the Star-Spangled Banner were written, we were here.
Mr. Muhammad teaches us that Negro is a term that was applied to us during slavery by the slave master. And right today, it's a term that is used only to point out the descendant of slaves. It's never used for black people, period. Africans can come to this country. They aren't called Negroes. And if they are called Negroes, they resent it. So if Negro meant black, as we've been taught, it would be a term that would be applicable to or pliable to everyone. But he says that it is something that means a slave, or something who is, it means something that has been left out of society, politically, economically, educationally, and otherwise.
You don't think of it as an anthropological term?
Definitely. It's not an anthropological term, it's a slave term. And it was a term that was invented in America and was used by the slave makers, slave traders, and slave masters, and attached to the property or the chattel or merchandise that our people represented in that particular day.
And by the way, we're not black. How about that? We're not black. We're Indian. Yeah. We're Native American. Yeah. How many of y'all grandmothers got Indian in your family? Yeah, I'm Period. I'm Indian. Wait a second, but what happened to the Indians? We black. Show me black on the planet. Why you stop recording?
He knows the fucking shit.
Why you sound crazy? Nah, because you think I sound crazy.
No, you don't sound like that. You're talking true. You're talking true.
We're not black. Race was made up.
You're talking true.
Race was made up.
Yeah, with the brown eyes.
Show me black. Show me black on the planet. Show me black. Everybody else, they European, they Australian, they Chinese, they Japanese. Show me black on the planet. We marginalized as entertainers.
Crazy because he's black.
Nick, what you care about crazy?
Happy Educational Friday. Y'all know that part always tickle me with Scotty. It's crazy because he's black. She almost made Kanye spaz out. Happy Educational Friday, you guys. Y'all come on in. Happy Educational Friday. Get the likes up on the video. This is what we do every Friday. We get on here and we unlearn some stuff that we learned about and some stuff we didn't learn about. It's just basically trying to correct the history, his story. And today we're talking about the Reformation or Reformation of the Reconstruction of the cowboy and the Indian. And this is the craziest part. The cowboy and the Indian is you. You are the cowboy and you are the Indian. And that's why we're talking about the Reformation and the Reconstruction of the cowboy and the Indian. It's crazy how they took you outside of you and then pit you against each other, right? Even though you're looking at clear people, it still pits you against each other subconsciously. And that's probably one of the biggest reasons why we're here. But nevertheless, we here for that, y'all. And I was just thinking about what Kanye was saying when he said, black is not a race. And he was saying that, no, not Malcolm, not him, Malcolm X. But Malcolm X was talking about how they describe the Negro. And he said, Africans, when they come to America, he says they aren't called Negro. He said, and if they do, they resent it. He said that's because the white man or the person who created the term created it for a specific group of people. And these people will be taken advantage or taken of. They have their social, economic, political, all those powers taken away. And that is what turned a person into a slave. And you know, it makes sense why only we were called Negro. And still to this day, because it would be equivalent to a group of people who have been lost economically, politically, socially, spiritually. Does that make sense? So this is why, and this is one of those unfortunate deciding factors or dividing factors that divide us. Hey, Gigi, that divides us from them. We are a particular group of people, and we need to know that and overstand it and understand it, okay? So that's why we're here today, and I'm telling you, you could watch the same thing over and over again and still get new perspectives on it. Malcolm X was so far ahead of his time, man. I don't know how Malcolm X got dropped off in the 60s, and from the way I understand this regeneration thing, he probably volunteered to come back then. But let me tell you something. I don't know how he got dropped off in the 60s, but he was so far ahead of his time. It is unreal. So y'all get in here and get the likes up on the video. Get in here, get the likes up on the video. And we're going to get right into the show. I hope you guys are having a good day. I am having a good day as well. It is Friday. Fridays and Mondays are normally my busier days. Crazy, right? Yeah, Fridays and Mondays are normally my busier days. But I love Fridays and Mondays. So, well, really Fridays more. But yeah, it is what it is. Now, let's get into what we're here for. The Reformation and Reconstruction of the cowboy and the Indian. Now, let's talk about the cowboy and the Indian. Where was the cowboy and Indian located? West of the United States. Remember, when the Negropeans came to America and started this whole war, because when you guys start to realize that it was black, swarthy colored people that came over here and started this stuff, that's when you're going to start to see differently, okay? So anyway, when they were trying to expand westward, they were expanding westward, and this is where the Cowboys and the Indians were, right? But the cowboy and the Indians most of them were Western, I want to say Plains Indians, from the Western Hemisphere. And these Negropeans, and that's what I was going. The Negropeans were coming in. They were coming in through the East. This is why the original 13 colonies was in the East. You talking about the Philly? Well, yeah, the Pennsylvania, New York area. You know, all of that. They didn't even get New Orleans and Louisiana until they got the Louisiana Purchase. But upon that, you expand into the West. Remember, Lewis and Clark, we talked about them. They was explorers who went off into the West, okay? They weren't explorers. They went out there to do what they did. Screw them people out their land, kill them, all of that. Long story short, so in this westward expansion, you're going to find these Indians, and they were Plains Indians, and they were cowboys that we would know today as cowboys and Indians. Some of the groups that came from these groups were the Buffalo Soldiers. We all know the Buffalo Soldiers, right? Are the Cowboys. They are the original Cowboys, and they are not the original. They are just a replica, not a replica, wrong word. They are representation of what the average cowboy was back then, because remember, we were a force to reckon with. Now, I've done some research on the the Buffalo Soldiers, and I love what they did, but they did some things that screwed us over, like joining the United States with this military stuff. We should have never did that. However, they were also helpful in Reconstruction, because remember, they're also putting down railroads. There's a railroad expansion happening. Remember, these people want to get all this land so that they can have the railroad, so they can transfer goods back and forth. This is before planes. So railroads that they can transfer goods back and forth through, and they can do all types of stuff. So they're going in, getting this land where people are already inhabiting, and they're also putting down railroads. And guess who defended the railroad? The Buffalo Indians. The same thing, but the Buffalo Soldiers. And they had to fight their own people to make sure that this railroad expansion went. And again, I don't know what the mindset was back then. I would have to go further into more detail to kind of get into that, and maybe I'll tap into something later. But ultimately, I find that if the Buffalo Soldiers, or if any of us had not worked with them, we would not be here. But again, we're here, so it's not to lay claim or lay blame. It's just to kind of give you accurate history of what was going on. So long story short, westward expansion led into the Cowboys and led into the people, because there's land here and there's also people there. See, one other thing is they tell us that we came from Africa and they had to ship all these people in. That is a lie. Wherever they found land, they found animals and they found people. Okay, so part of that Reconstruction and part of that, all of that, we gonna ship these here, the trailer tears, that show people. Okay. That's your people. When they was going in and finding this land, they was packing people up and getting up out of there if they didn't kill them. Okay. So long story short, when they're getting into these lands, they're finding these people, and they're represented as we would call the Cowboys and the Indians. Now, the way we know them today was from the old Western movies in the 60s and beyond or whatever. It's a bunch of white boys. It's a bunch of white boys that's supposed to be the Cowboys, and it's a bunch of $5 footlongs that came in to play the Indians. Now, it makes me upset, but it's actually really accurate representation for the Indians, because the $5 Native American or the $5 footlong, that's their job. Their job was to come in and be an actor, to act as if they are the indigenous people of this land, when they are not. They are Siberian Mongolian Huskies that allegedly crossed some Bering Strait. They are not who they say they are. They are not even who they think they are. Okay. So they had the white boy playing the cowboy, which is really you. And then they had the $5 $5 footlong playing the Indian, which is still you. So when you heard that blurb in my intro from, what's the guy's name? I forget his name. When he said they had you rooting for the Cowboys versus the Indians, but the Indians were you. Also, the Cowboys were you. But this is how the subconscious mind works. Because even though they can take characters of who you really are and put different faces on it, because your subconscious already recognizes you as you, you can't trick your subconscious. You can trick this. You can't trick the subconscious. I'll give you an example. You know who you are. You know your name is John Smith, right? No matter what happens, subconsciously, you will always know that you John Smith. Now, you might hit your head and get a little amnesia, and you might forget some things and but subconsciously, you will never forget that you are John Smith. So what the people did was take John Smith out of John Smith and then separated John and Smith and told the people who they abstracted John Smith from, told them these are different people. So even though watching this, they're not seeing anything going on, subconsciously, I believe it played a major part in the division between us. Because even though we watching a white boy and a $5 Indian or a $5 Native American, it is still representation of us. And I think subconsciously, that's part of a big reason, especially back then, that kept us doing this. Because we not realizing what it is we're watching. Let me tell you, witchcraft is powerful, because that's all that is. But we're going to get into that, y'all. Y'all get the likes up on the video, please, and thank you. Let me check these super chats. William, hey, beautiful, says happy Educational Friday, and thank you so much for being a member for 6 months, Williams. I really appreciate you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And thank you. Oh, thank you again, William, for making it rain. Go ahead on now. I make it rain. I make it rain. I make it rain on them hoes. I make it rain. Thank you, William. Beautiful. I appreciate you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Y'all come on in and get the likes up on the video. It's time to learn. It's time to learn. We all learning together. So let's get into it, y'all. So I want to start with let's go here. Now remember, everything is about assimilation. These are the Clears and the Negropeans coming over here, and they trying to get us to assimilate to their new ways of life. That's their religion, that's their politics, their education, everything. Mind you, simultaneously while stealing from you. So let's get into the American Indian assimilation. Now, this is from Wikipedia, so please have discernment. I'll just go there. Now, remember, I told you this is all about westward expansion from the east to the west. They trying to get this land from the southeast and up all the way to the west, California and all. It says American Indian assimilation. Expansion into the plains and mountains by miners, ranchers, and most of settlers led to conflict with some of the regional American Indian tribes. Remember, the Indian is you. The government insisted the American Indians either move into general society and become assimilated or remain on assigned reservations. Now, let's be clear. Reservations were hell. It was like going to prisons. Okay. So now the government coming back and telling the Indians, hey, we'll let you off the reservation if you assimilate into our program. That's our religion, our education, our social policies, all of that. And people who want to escape these reservations, you think they're not going to run over there and say, well, yeah, I'll play God with you. I'll play religion with you. But what happens is after you play so long, it actually becomes real. And I'm not saying that all of them was playing. Some of them probably did want to assimilate. But it goes on to say, it says state and territorial militias use force to keep those choosing reservation life from threatening nearby tribes or settlers. The violence petered out in the 1880s and practically ceased after 1890. By the 1880s, the buffalo herds and foundation for the hunting economy had disappeared. So they trying to say that basically they wiped each other out. You know that ain't happened. Them people done got them folks up out of there, renamed the people. Listen, and this a lot of times the people never went nowhere. They were renaming the people that were already there, saying, oh, so for instance, I'm going to just use Asia. So say I come to YouTube and I find Asia. And I'm like, oh, hey, Asia girl. And then some new people come to YouTube who never met Asia. And I tell the new people, oh, that ain't Asia. That's Keisha. And so the new people start calling Asia Keisha. And so Asia going to be like, bitch, I'm not no Asia, I'm Keisha. You know, so I'm not no Keisha, I'm Asia. And the thing is, once people start saying it so much, you actually start to adopt it. Real life. Real spill in real life. And that's a lot of the times what happened. A lot of the times we assimilated into things just to be okay, and not to be okay, but just to be safe, because a lot of things was dealing with safety and also just to survive. And that's the problem. And this is where the witchcraft comes in, because those of us who were strong knew that there was nothing that enemy could do to us, because we understand that there's regeneration. We understand that there's a higher power that supersedes all of this. And all of those people who did not want to assimilate, a lot of them were reclassified as wild Indians. And these are black people with their own culture, people with their own ways of language and all that stuff. This is what you up against. It goes on to say American Indians had the choice of living on reservations. Projects. The U.S. government provided food, supplies, education, and medical care. Tell me that don't sound like a modern day project. Tell me that don't sound like a housing project. I'm going to read it again. American Indians had the choice of living on reservations. The U.S. government provided food, supplies, education, and medical care. Individuals could move out on their own in Western society and earn wages, typically on a ranch. Here's your Cowboys. Reformers wanted to give as many American Indians as possible the opportunity to own and operate their own farms and ranches. And the issue was how to give the individual Indians land owned by the tribes. To assimilate the Indians into American society, reformers set up training programs in schools, such as the Carlisle Indian Industrial School in Carlisle, Pennsylvania, that produced many predominant Indian leaders. Now, you know this is where they're making the Indians, right? So they putting people in schools, teaching them how to be what they want them to be. For instance, nobody Black American in this chat need to be taught about hip hop. Nobody. We know it. Even if you don't know the history per se, line for line, word for word, you know the history of hip hop because it is of you. You wouldn't have to go to school to take a college course or get a degree in hip hop to know it. People like Amanda Seales have to do that. Do you understand what's happening here? The only reason the original people will go to a school is if they were reconstructing their minds to make them something they're not, or if they were bringing in people who were not the original people to teach them how to be the people that they want them to be, i.e. the people that they're replacing. The $5 Indian, okay? It goes on to say, to assimilate the Indians into American society, reformers set up training programs in schools such as the Carlisle Indian Industrial School in Carlisle, Pennsylvania, that produced many prominent Indian leaders. The anti-assimilation traditionalists on the reservations, however, resisted integration. Now, that's the real niggas. The reformers decided the solution was to allow Indians still on reservation to own land as individuals. The Dawes Act of 1887 was an effort to integrate American Indians into the mainstream. The majority accepted integration and were absorbed into American society, leaving a trace of American Indian ancestry in millions of American families. That ain't leaving a trace. All they did was all those ones who assimilated, they renamed them. Paper genocide. So that means when they came and said, hey, we'll give you a better life and we'll give you some land, you want to sign up? All them niggas who signed up, they went from who they were originally to whatever that white boy made them or whatever them Negroes made them, Negro peons made them. And we've been renamed over and over ever since. You don't get nothing for something, or you don't get something for nothing, okay? That's literally what they're telling you how it happened. Look, it said those who refuse to assimilate remain in poverty on the reservations, supported by federal food, medicine, and schooling. That's a housing project. In 1934, U.S. policy was reversed again by the Indian Reorganization Act, which attempted to protect tribal and communal life on the reservations. Now, let me ask you a question. Just out of curiosity, they're already describing the housing project by saying they already had the food, the medicine, and the schools. That's every doggone housing project, right? What I want to know is, Indian reservation package. So, wait, where was I? I forgot the question I was about to ask. That made me so mad. Let me read this again. Remaining again by the Indian, which attempted to protect tribal community. So, okay. So honestly, I feel like this could be where a lot of your uppity Negroes was made. But listen, the Indians that remained on the reservations and or in the projects, those were the ones who were spoon-fed and would be controlled by the government. Now, those who would leave the reservations, they would have the, they would have the illusion that they would have freedom, but they wouldn't. They would be into slaves or be into the same chains that the ones on the projects or the reservations are in, because you can only do so much under their system. This is how we getting into these people's system. Remember, there ain't no $5 footlongs here. There's not a Native American in sight. A Native American can't even tell you any oral tradition or any oral history of any family that has gone through any of this. Do they live on reservation or have they lived on reservations in the recent past? Absolutely. But when you talk to them $5 footlongs, when you talk to them Siberians and you ask them about their history and you ask them about this, they don't have no real stories. I remember watching Love and Hip Hop, and I remember they went up to Canada and they had them $5 footlongs sitting around telling them their story about how their ancestors, this, that, and the third. And I remember on Love and Hip Hop on that review, I said, man, that $5 Indian sitting down telling y'all own story and you don't even know it. They literally were sent here to replace you. They didn't go through none of this. They don't even have a history or a memory of it. All they know is the same thing you know about it in school. But I bet if you talk to your great-grandmother or your grandmother, she can tell you about her grandmother, having these situations going on, being transferred here to there. Remember, this is for acquisition of land. Acquisition of land. This is all about taking over the land and taking over the people mentally enslaved, right? Now I want to go somewhere else because that's the Indians. Hold on. I want to go here. Is this the one I already had up? Let's go to this timeline. Now listen, in the 1870s to the 1920s, the allotment and assimilation projects. Now here you go. They're giving you a timeline of the allotment and assimilation projects, okay? Now this is how they're going to do it. This is how they did it. This is the timeline. And remember, I told you this. There's nothing new under the sun. Everything you did has already been done. If that is the case, then what they did then is either happening now or it's about to happen soon. Remember, I also told y'all that the way they did the gentrification this time seems a bit off. Because normally they take big pockets of niggas and they sit them here, and then they take big pockets of poor whites and sit them there. But this time they moved the poor whites or the decent whites, and then they left the niggas to roam. And that is kind of like smelling rain in the air for me. I hope that makes sense. It's kind of like smelling rain in the air for me. Something in the milk ain't clean there. They about to do some shit that we don't know nothing about. And by the time we figure it out, it's going to be too late. So let's get into this timeline. Look, 1871, treaty making abolished gold found in the Black Hills, South Dakota. Now remember, they got you thinking all the gold and everything is in Africa. But I was a little bitty girl and said, well, if all the gold in Africa, why they over here? I said that as a little bitty girl. You mean to tell me Africa got all these diamonds and all this gold and y'all not over there? That don't make no sense. I said that as a little girl. But guess where they do have gold at? South Dakota. You want to know why you can't dig in your backyard? Hello? And didn't Trump just redecorate the White House with nothing but gold everywhere? Is Trump trying to tell you something? Did Trump not? Let me go get it, girl. Hold on. Because I want, listen, again, they want you to believe, hold on. They want you to believe that all of the richest and the most beautiful, most richest continent on the earth is Africa. Mind you, most of the people in Africa, no shade, are trying to come here. Hold on. Let me show you this, what you call them. Because I forgot to mention this on the Morning Joes. But since we're here, let's get it. So Trump just redecorated the White House, right? And Trump got gold everywhere. Mind you, we are told that all the gold is elsewhere. However, that's not true. Because when you look at all them ancient statues of all that ancient everything, every single one of our ancestors is dripped in what, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? Gold. As a matter of fact, I told y'all up until the recent times, everybody and their mama had gold teeth. Did I not say that? I know I said that. I know what I said because I was there when I said it, right? So, as a little bitty girl, I said, if all the gold is in Africa, then why is they over here? How about because the gold wasn't in Africa? Because the gold is here. Also, remember, when they came over here and they was plotting to come to this land, one of the reasons they were coming, part of the Europeans, I want to say the Spaniards, was for the gold. When Columbus got off the ship in Hispaniola, he described how the spears he said they chucking spears at each other made of precious metal, my nigga. That mean they killing people with stuff that's precious. This is what Columbus said. Go get the book. They came before Columbus. Columbus described the spears that they were throwing at each other to kill each other. He said the metal that they're using at the tip of these spears is worth crazy amounts of, not money, but value. And they chucking this shit back and forth. But they want you to believe all the gold and the diamonds is where, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? Oh, it's supposed to be in Africa? Come on, man. Watch out. So Trump must have had all that gold. You feel what I'm saying? He must have had all that gold shipped in. That's what it was. Trump had all this gold shipped in. What's up, boo? Look at my boo up in here. Topcatz, you want to come up and get in on this? Let me drop the link for my boo. You know I'm gonna be at Foundational American Indian Day. Hold on. Let me drop the link. Lord, I ain't dropped the link in so long, child. Let me drop the link for Topcatz if you want to come up. Shout out to Topcatz, the big chief, legendary Topcatz. Y'all make sure y'all pull up and come to if you're in the Houston area, November 22nd, I will be. Make sure y'all pull up and come to the Foundational American Indigenous Day. It will be in Houston. It's going down. And thank you so much, Topcatz, for the super chat. And I gotta holler at you. I text you and you never call me back. I will be out there though. If anybody gonna be out there, make sure y'all pull up, pull over, and pop out. Topcatz, if you want to come up, I dropped the link for you. But listen, where do you think Trump got all this gold from? This is a genuine question. Where do you think Trump got all this gold from? He didn't import this. That nigga probably digged it up out the backyard. Hey, Chief.
What's up, boo? What's up? How you feeling on this Friday?
I'm feeling wonderful. How you feeling?
I feel good. You know, I just been sitting back getting my education, you know.
I'm trying to get like you. Listen, I hit you up about something I can't remember, and you never.
Yeah, that was my bad. I've been trying to get everything together. You know, we're a week out now, but we pressure though. I just had to get a lot of things together.
So, all right, talk to the people about the Foundational American Indigenous Day. You got to come on next week during the morning jokes when I got more people up too.
Okay. Yeah, basically, when we coming out, Houston, Texas, we got a nice venue. We're gonna have Southern Soul, Zydeco. So we got Little Miss Houston. She one of the top line dancers out right now. She gonna be hosting and teaching, you know, line dancing, Zydeco there. We got some Southern Soul singers. We got a Go DJ. We got other line dance groups. One of them got 40 girls in it. They don't even let niggas in. But
damn,
there's gonna be a lot of feminine energy there.
I love it.
We have workshops going on, genealogy 101, financial freedom, financial literacy, holistic healness. We have good food, you know, it's Ace time. So, you know, we got the etouffee out there. Boo, I'm still waiting on my etouffee.
I told you I'm going to cook for you, man. I ain't cooked in a long time. Well, no, I just cooked some soup last week, but I got you.
Yeah, so, but we're going to party. So we also have workshops. We got openings for workshops too. If people want to do workshops, we're going to have a panelist where Vu going to speak. So shout out to the doors. Y'all want to come out, come get a picture with Ms. Vu. I think we got like 3 or 4 little camera joints. One 360 joint too. But yeah, we're going to have the tents put up outside. We got 40 by 30s, 20 by 20s, 20 by 30 tents. We got a table and chairs outside, but then we got an auditorium inside that holds 400 people with a stage and a big screen. And that way y'all gonna see Vu at. She gonna be on stage, you know, Joseph, you know what I'm saying, coming to pop it. But we're gonna have New Orleans in the building. We got a big chief coming down to talk about the history of Mardi Gras Indians and just New Orleans culture. He's been doing it 32 years. Who else we gonna have out there? Man, I can't think of everything, but it's so much going on. It's gonna be from 12 p.m. to 7 p.m. and we have an after party We got a nice venue. I'm seeing the video. The little
I'm trying to be outside after we do all of this. You know, I'm trying to go outside. I'm trying to buy me some.
We're in a good area too. We're gonna be in a good area.
Man,
we got a lounge.
I'm trying to put it on.
Watch out now, say, because I'm gonna have that shit on too. So yeah, we gotta get a picture.
Yeah, I'm trying to have a good time. Yeah,
it's going down for sure. We're gonna have good foods. We got the barbecue pits out there, food trucks. We're gonna introduce people to the Texas barbecue. You know, but because it's a lot of people coming from, I mean, Connecticut, Jersey, New York, Philly, Baltimore, DC, Florida, Virginia, South Carolina, Vegas, Colorado, Arizona, California. It's so many people coming out. So it's gonna be a nice turnout. Then we're gonna have a lot of Houston people there. We're gonna have our New Orleans community there. I'm still hollering at the I need to get back with Magnolia Twins. Tap back in with them, man. We did some community work, ended up bumping into each other during Hurricane Harvey. They was out in Houston, and so I bumped into them in the hood, and we just chopped it up. So I'm like, yeah, man. They like, man, holler at us. We gonna, see if we pull up. So yeah, New Orleans. I know they want their turkey necks. I know they want their turkey necks and their eggs, and yeah. So it's going down. It's gonna be a whole lot of coach out there, a lot of people, a lot of women. They gonna be in their days to do some cowgirl boots. We doing an award ceremony too with Miss Vu. Will be presented with an award, for doing her big one. But, it's gonna be some other names there. I really don't want to say the names to make people come. You know what I'm saying? Like come to be a part of the action. So we got Southern singers. We got some niggas that's gonna have y'all throwing panties on them. Yeah, even if you don't wear them, bring them in your purse. Yeah, they gonna be throwing panties on the stage. Them niggas gonna sing them panties out of y'all laugh. And we're gonna rock out just our culture, something for us, by us. We want to make this the largest gathering, and it's the first one. It's gonna be the first one, so they only gonna get larger.
It's about to get big.
Yeah,
it's about to be huge.
I think this one gonna.
This about to be this is gonna be the first one, but this gonna catapult to this annual thing. This about to be like a new family reunion. Watch.
Nah, it is because a lot of people. They, Stone Mountain. A lot of people didn't, they waited, and that motherfucker turns out to be crazy. And I'm telling them, I'm like, hey, bro, this got this Stone Mountain feeling. Like in my head, like I know we gonna have about 200 people. I already know that, but I think it's gonna be more because we got north, south, east, and west side of Houston. So many people coming out. They want to bring the car clubs out. They bringing the slabs to. Motorcycles. They wanted to do the horses, but that's gonna be too much maintenance, So we're gonna use the field for us, And I got fans. You feel me? We popping fans.
Yeah, bring the fans back.
She say bring the fans back.
For real. I think I told you. I tell people on my chat, we were summoning the ancestors with them boots and them fans. They just don't want to admit it. I love it.
Yeah. So I got you one.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, we're gonna do our big one though. That's on 11/22. So we have to do a porter. Hold on, one more thing.
Oh, I love that. 11/22. I didn't think about that. Yeah.
Yeah, here go Bull Awards, y'all.
Oh, look at me. That's nice. Man, Topcatz, you a whole corporation over there. What is that?
Yeah, we're gonna put it in the box too. They didn't have to carry it around.
Oh man, I can't wait, man. Let me get on Fashion Over Sale Rack right quick. I can't wait. Hold on.
We going up. Yeah.
Let me get on the sale rack from Fashion Over right quick so I can be cute when I get my little awards and whatnot.
Yeah, so it's gonna be a lot of pictures there. We're gonna have cameras. We're gonna shoot a video to that we been here. I don't know if you heard it. That we been here.
Oh, your song. I heard it. I like it. At first I thought it was you.
Well, I'm telling everybody it's me. Cause just go along with it. They like, who is that? Nigga, that's me. Yeah. But I'm a lip sync that motherfucker at the video shoot. So after the video shoot, yeah, they gonna think it's me, goddamn.
Right. That's all
But
that matters.
yeah, now shout out to the dogs, man. Y'all come out, y'all get a voodoo discount. So yeah, y'all come out and make sure y'all come enjoy, you know, cool environment, like-minded people.
Yeah.
Be ready to party though, because it's Houston. Like we turn up.
Hit me up. I'm trying to see what's up. Because if this is a one-day thing, I'll come in and fly back out. But if we gonna do a weekend deal, call me.
I think, see, when people be coming on my trip, I wear them out. You're gonna be up early and you gonna be late.
I know.
They going to sleep late, fucking with me. You know, we gonna party. The times on there, the event gonna be over with so fast because we gonna be so caught up and there's so much going on. So I'm trying to get a big screen to show, like, let's say somebody doing workshops inside. Well, we can watch that outside. We can be in the tents. We got chairs, tables, all of that shit propped up. We got the DJ out there. We got the stage. We got the, you know, the line dance, the people. We got places for them to sit in the tents, under the tables. The weather gonna be like 82 degrees, you know, and then at night it might drop like 70 or 60. So I do, you know, them days do the cowgirl boots to work and, you know,
during the day.
Yeah, but at nighttime, you know, you might want to go jazz it up, you dig, and get in them heels. And and pull up because we got an after party, which is a fight night that night too. So we got us a nice lounge. They got a balcony, got an area where they got little games or whatever. And then we had a outside patio space out there too. So we had the heaters and, you know, the drinks, the food. We had the food trucks out there. And that's going to that's not for everybody. But if they with you, then, you know, they can come through. It's going to be something for us. You know what I'm saying? We just want to make it, we're going to make it comfortable. You did.
I can't wait, man. I'm excited. This is my first time going to something like this. I can't wait. It's my first time going to something like this.
You know they're going to be all over. You know you're going to be taking million pictures. You're going to be signing autographs, kissing babies. Yeah, they know who is. So, nah, I can't wait. Yeah. Before I burn out, it's cool if we play the video.
Yeah, run it. Yeah.
Run it.
That ain't nothing else.
Yeah, I forgot that's that NO.
Yeah, what is you saying? Run that.
I'm saying whatever you saying.
Hold on.
Let me turn this song on because they are really trying to hook us up.
Before presenting a screen, remove other media. Oh, wait, hold on. What other media? Oh, I gotta stop sharing. My bad. Yeah, they be trying to put us together. I be seeing them sometimes. I don't say nothing. I just be watching.
Okay.
Go ahead, play the music.
Okay, turn up. But they lying though. They talking about, y'all make cute couple. I'm just trying to see, are they lying?
No, absolutely not.
Oh, okay, then turn up.
I like that Honduran cigar, the spirits rise. Smoke curling like ancestors whispering in the skies. Dr. Sebi in my left ear saying heal from inside. This ain't no new land, we the ones they try to deny. Before Columbus ever dreamed of ships to steer, we was building mounds, doing rituals with no fear. From Yucatan to Galveston, New Orleans near. That's a triangle of soul, but the map been clear. Second lines ain't parades, that's ancestral rights. Tambourines and feathers under full moonlight. We ain't immigrants now, we the original might. Built pyramids and bone flutes before Rome took flight. Topcatz said it loud, stop begging for permission. Our culture ain't missing, it's just deep in tradition. We ain't African cause they told us we remember the mission. The land speaks Creole, soul food and intuition. We been here through the blood and the drum, through the elders, the chants and the kiss of the sun. Smoke rise from the leaf, yeah, we talk to the sky. And the ancestors' rhythm, we never die. We been here, oh yeah, we been here. Way before they wrote their lives, we still live. It's our home, not a place we disappear. Jaheim singing truth through the pain and the tears. Granny sat me down, roll something slow. Said when you puff, give thanks, let the cosmos know. I inhale the jungle, Exhale the flow, spitting stories that the textbook still scared to show. Cigar lit like a torch from ancient rites. Aromas like prayers to the Orishas at night. New Orleans ain't a tourist tale, it's black divine. Where the jazz horns spend time and the spirits align. Forget Columbus, we was dancing in stars. Trading turquoise, dripping culture in bars. Drums talking codes, spirits moving cars. Look close, the past ain't gone, it's just behind these stars. From Congo Square to Trammy porches, we built this land, no need for endorsements. The Mardi Gras beats ain't just for decor, that's soul armor, homie, we was gods before war. We been here through the blood and the drum, through the elders, the chants and the kiss of the sun. Smoke rise from the leaf, yeah, we talk to the sky. In the ancestors' rhythm, we never die. We been here, oh yeah, we been here. Way before they wrote their lives, we still live. This our home, not a place we disappear. Jaheim singing truth through the pain and the tear, through the blood and the drum, through the elders, the chants and the kiss of the sun. Smoke rise from the leaf, yeah, we talk to the sky. In the ancestors' rhythm, we never die. We been here, oh yeah, we been here. Way before they wrote their lives, we still live. This our home, not a place we disappear. Jaheim singing truth through the pain and the tear.
I like that, Topcatz. That's nice. That's
Man,
nice.
I'm glad you like it. Appreciate you let me drop it. And it go with the bill, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. We've been here.
Yeah, and so shout out to Vu, shout out to everything you do. Can't wait to see you. And finally get my handshake. Because I want to I'm saying that, and they with that bullshit in the chat. They down there deal with that bullshit in the chat. Y'all cut it out.
Man, y'all crazy. You crazy too.
And the nigga answered the phone, talking about what's ham, yeah. I told that nigga I was Cajuns on Claiborne. Come pick up his shrimp. Shit, wings, shrimp fried rice. Yeah, that nigga like, what? The shrimp fried rice, you ordered it. Yeah, I had to hang up, man. That big old nigga. Y'all know how them New Orleans niggas is about they women. So,
man,
yeah.
I ain't dated New Orleans niggas in years. Lord have mercy. But no, look.
Nigga.
Is there anything you want to add to the bill? Because we talking about the westward expansion and the Cowboys and the Indians. Is there anything you want to add to the bill?
Yeah,
see, you the expert. I'm learning.
What about Texas niggas though?
Huh?
You said you ain't had a Louisiana nigga. How long you ain't had a Texas nigga?
I don't think I ever dated a man from Texas.
Oh, you in trouble. You ain't gonna better keep up. All right, so yeah, as far as the Cowboys and the Indians, yeah, the first Cowboys that's come out of the Houston area around 1855, even though people had ranches before then. If we go back, the U.S. War Department spoke about the Seminoles having a lot of cattle, livestock, and ranches way back then. You know, they wore the spurs on the boots, but a lot of that, you know, Florida, that Spanish territory, Texas, these areas, these are just names that are generalizing. It don't represent the people. This is just a certain time in history where they putting these titles on because it wasn't always a France, it wasn't always a British, a United Kingdom, Great Britain. You feel me? So it's time change. Yeah. So yeah, that culture right there, even with the Tex-Mex like we eat down here. If you look at a Mexican restaurant or you see the food we eat, and they tell us it's a Mexican restaurant, you go to Mexico, ain't nothing that shit on the menu. So yeah, things like that. But yeah, the cowboy did the Indian, you know, turned into the cowboy. When we go into cowboy territory, Indian territory, you know, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Mississippi, Louisiana, Texas, you know, that's where you seeing the best. That's where you seeing all the rodeos. You know, that's where you see a lot of line dancing. Now we ain't taking nothing from the Carolinas or other people. You know, we know they get down to South Carolina, North Carolina. They do their big one. You know, that horse clubs come from all over. But yeah, we that Indian territory, that was different for the U.S. military. They had no answer to fight us in the terrain. So 1870, they came to what would become known as the Seminole Scouts and asked for their assistance. And, we had the Buffalo Soldiers who came out of the United States colored troops during the Civil War. All of these people were actually cowboys. That's why they had, you had infantry and you also had the horseback. So they taught white cadets and they honored them with a 12-foot statue. Buffalo Soldiers teaching white cadets horsemanship and basically military training, American Indian military. And they used that to go conquer the world. They still using it. They ain't used us too much for the last war in the Middle East, and that took 20-some years. They didn't even win. But every war before that, we fought those and we won. And, so I say that part. But yeah, the Cowboys in the Indian history, that's always, it go down to the food culture and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, fajitas and burritos, all of that. That took place down where Taco Bell say run for the border. That's the border of Texas. That's where a lot of that culture come from. But you had the Seminole Indians down there, Muskogee, Brownsville, places like that in Texas, where it was nothing but our people down there all the way up to the early 1920s. So around like 1912, 1901, 1902, something like that. Galveston got hit with a hurricane. 1912, they burnt down Houston. 1921, the Buffalo Soldiers won the war with, basically white police officers or whatever in Houston. Also, that's around the time where they was having, they was decimating a lot of these black towns like Oklahoma, Boley, Oklahoma was the richest place in Oklahoma. We hear about Tulsa, but the other, we really had it going on. And so this is before the Destiny Swap. This was during the time of the Destiny Swap. But in the cities and all of that, and systematically breaking us down, drafts for the war. After the war, they bring in this they talking about the SNAP benefits the other day, with the food stamps. And right behind there, you got the crack epidemic and the drugs and the private prison, school to pipeline. So it's just been all systematically breaking us down, and it had to take the land from us. I say this before I close. The other day, King Simon asked me what the elders that taught Pan-Africanism or whatever, who they call master teachers, what is, the issue with them. And I just felt like they disconnected themselves from their roots. And by being master teachers, meaning they're teaching so many other people that once they cut themselves out from their roots, everyone they learned their teachings, cut themselves out from their roots. And a tree with no root bear no fruit. So if they're taught in the home, because each one of those people can tell you what Indian tribe their family told them they came from. Now, when they got older and they had this philanthropy money, this government funding, and they took those positions. And I said, these are very intelligent people. Now, if you didn't know better, then you wouldn't do better. But if you knew better, you'd do better. And I feel like they was too smart not to know what was taking.
There you go. You like me then, because I was like, I'm listening, trying to give you your time, but in my head, I'm like, man, them niggas knew. You know what I'm saying? Like they know too much, they studied too much, and I feel like they sold us out. You know what I'm saying? For assimilation, to assimilate to the society and all that stuff. But sorry.
Right. No, they got paid. They got paid for that.
Yeah.
Like, it's this guy, he said when they were 19, the government had a project out, and the project was they had a project out where they gave away I think it was $20 million project, and they gave 19-year-old students leaving college. Back then college was free. So they gave them 19-year-old students $20,000, $60,000 grants to go back to their communities and basically indoctrinate them, bring them in these programs. Yeah, so a lot of that was so and the guy told the story, came back and said that it was blood money because in the end, it was detrimental to the communities. Now they got their money, they just spun it, and now they turn around, they defund African studies, African American studies, and different things like this because that was a project, and that project is over. Now people are self-governed, and people coming up with trying to find new identities. You see, and not to wish nothing on nobody, but Jesse Jackson, he in the hospital. He about to kick the bucket, and all of these people that had something. He's a Cherokee Indian.
Yep.
Yeah.
Card
carrying Cherokee. Getting all the benefits. He did say black is baseless, and that's what he wanted. That was his pitch to get African American in. So yeah, but he about to kick the bucket. So we seeing a new generation coming, a new wave of thinkers. It is a lot of other people creating new terms. No disrespect, LBA, Solon, and all of that shit there. But I'm saying we need that. We need to be who we are because we never seen nobody fly none of them flags in the war. None of these wars we talked about, ain't nobody died for it. These are civil rights. Turn the other cheek, let a white man hands on your mama, sick dogs and no retaliation like that. We not on that peaceful protest, no justice, no peace shit. Like it's a new era coming in, and it's people like Vu, that's gonna help with their matriarch, and these gonna be the boys of the new school, and we not with that shit them niggas on. And I'm glad a lot of them getting to see the transition before they transition. They see the shit that they put down, is all of this shit is falling apart. You know what I'm saying? And before they kick the bucket, I'm glad they get to see that that they didn't win.
And that's the part I wanted to say. Jesse Jackson on his way out right now is very symbolic and very spiritual because he's the representation of a lot of that confusion that we coming out of. You know what I'm saying? So him on his way out the door, especially now, and I didn't realize it until you said it. We are kind of like scrambled minds trying to figure out which way to go because normally they have another agenda lined up for us right after the last one, but like the gentrification I was just talking about, it seemed like this one they just kind of like let us go. But I'm with you. To make up new terms is going to further confuse us. We need to find out who we are first. But yeah, I think it's very spiritually symbolic that Jesse Jackson is on his way out during this time spiritually. Like
Sheila Jackson Lee, that was one of my grandma homegirls, close homegirls, but she kicked the bucket. Same situation. It's like she was over HR 40 and even over the freedmen who were trying to get citizenship in the tribes that they family members signed treaties and were granted. But through the Dawes Roll and Curtis Act, and the Constitution changed in 1979 and in the 80s that took away their benefits. Sheila Jackson Lee was the person that was going back and forth to the Hill whenever they come from Oklahoma to go talk about these things. So she's collecting all this data, got all of this proof, and never did nothing with it. She's gone. She's out the way. So a lot of those games are not going to be played because people had, that was their thing for that time. That was to counter the fact that over 600 million acres was stolen. 1989, because the black farmers protested about that, and in 1989 she came with HR 40 to study reparations, and we still have people running around here begging for reparations. So you done got all these people together under this one banner that somebody didn't win and, you know, somebody, it's an ethnic group. They say it's lineage, but you cannot go and own a lineage. You cannot go copyright a lineage or no shit like that. So it's not a lineage. It's some shit a nigga made up. We're gonna keep it real.
Yeah, it definitely is.
And they use the culture, the Indian culture, American culture, and tied in with Africa or these other things that we seen have fell to the wayside. If that's the line they standing on, I respect it. But if y'all gonna use our talking points and our culture and put a new name on it, why not just go back to our name? Because now if you coming in the house talking about you FBA and your mama, Thanksgiving coming up, y'all go in the house at Thanksgiving, sit down and ask everybody, do they know about FBA? You the only nigga in the house that's in here talking like that. The family don't even know nothing about this. Hey. Shit on the internet. And so, but if you go in there and talk about what they taught you while you were young, granny had Indian and grandpa this and that, and then it's a different conversation. But if you're trying to teach your parents, people that you come from, who they are when you come from there, so yeah, it's different, you know what I mean? But I see the question Ms. Lola say, was Billy the Kid indigenous? Billy the Kid actually was a fictional character that they later brought out. The real Billy the Kid, his name was Cherokee Bill. And yes, he was indigenous. He was born in Texas, Fort Concho. His dad was a Buffalo Soldier. Now they try to tell you history white, but ain't no white Buffalo Soldiers. And then his mother was a Cherokee Indian. And he was one of the baddest ones in the West. I got a little clip, Vu, if you don't mind.
Yeah, play it.
Yeah. So this for Ms. Lola. And hopefully you can get some out of this. This is about maybe 8 minutes.
Collaborative effort to present more information concerning this matter, I asked Texas' very own Chief Topcatz to join me in presenting their background stories to you.
Clip.
The Gola Israel goes to just on it.
Contrary to popular belief, slavery didn't arrive in Texas until 1822 with Moses Austin, succeeded by his son Stephen F. Austin, who would grant land to new settlers. They would become known as the Old 300. They would bribe and lobby politicians for legal slavery in Texas. It would be short-lived, as in 1829, Mexico's first black president, Vicente Guerrero, would outlaw slavery. A year later, it would be murdered. The new laws would attract many migrations to the state of Texas, and in 1836, the Battle of the Alamo. June 19, 1865, Galveston, Texas Major General Gordon Granger of the Union Army announced General Order No. 3. Slavery in the state of Texas had officially come to an end. After the Civil War, there was a growing demand for beef in the East. They would look to Texas for remedy. This would produce the cattle boom. From Texas into Kansas, famous Indian trails would blaze the path, such as the Chisholm Trail. One of the towns along the trail is an old Indian town, Pecos, Texas. It would produce the world's first rodeo on July the 4th, 1883. Rodeos were the Cowboys Olympics. Skilled cattlemen would compete for bragging rights. Today, rodeo is the official sport of Texas. December the 5th, 1870, Willie Pickett was born. The second of 13 children to Thomas Jefferson Pickett and Miss Janie Mary Gilbert. The family were Cherokee Indians. From a small town in central Texas at the age of 5, Bill would develop the love for the culture. While working as a rancher, he developed a skill that would take him across the country and into American history, bulldogging. Cattlemen would steal the cattle by using bulldogs to trap them. Bill noticed the bulldogs would bite down on the upper lip of the bull, a technique that Bill would master as he would take the bull down by the steers. At the age of 18, he and his brothers would establish the Pickett Brothers, Bronco Busters, and Rough Riders Association. Everything cowboy, they had it. The cowboy lifestyle crossed in paths with rancher Lee Moore, who witnessed Bill's daredevil stunts. He would begin to manage Bill and also bring his brothers along. Over time, the relationship would come to an end over disputes of business and money. In 1903, he met a hustler's hustler, Dave McClure, a.k.a. Mr. Cowboy. The two would take the rodeo world by storm cross country. Mr. Cowboy coined Bill the name, the Dusky Demon. March 1905, Fort Worth, Texas. At the North Central Texas Cattle and Railroad Center, every cowboy that was somebody would be there. He would put on the performance of his life. He would get a standing ovation from the crowd. One of the witnesses there to see the phenomenon was a gentleman from Bliss, Oklahoma, who took notice, Colonel Zach Miller, owner of the 101 Ranch Wild Wild West show. Bill would join the ranks of Buffalo Bill Cody, Tom Mix, Will Rogers, and others. He would tour the world and even motion pictures. The legendary cowboy days would come to an end. April 2nd, 1932. He would die from head injuries after being kicked by a horse. His legacy lives on today, and the horse of cowboys and rodeos all over. Willie Bill Pickett, a.k.a. Dusky Demon, Cherokee Cowboy, legend of the Wild Wild West. 19th century. We close the chapter in American history of immigration, naturalization, colonialism, government, domestic enslavement, and wars, which ushered in the Second Great Awakening, Industrial Revolution, and U.S. expansion, from the 13 colonies into the ancient ancestral lands of the Southeast Indians. The fighting spirit, music, fishing, barbecue, soul food, cattle, livestock, and agriculture would make up the ingredients that would birth the new era of Indians, the Cowboys. From 1811 Creek Civil Wars through the similar wars that were leading to the 1829 Gold Rush of Georgia that were leading to the 1830 Indian Removal Act, resulting in the displacement of the Southeast Indian tribes, the U.S. would establish themselves in the West through military force and Indian scouts, attracted by their knowledge of the land, map making, scouting, building, interpreting. These would all serve purpose across the Mississippi and what would become known as Indian Territory, aka the Wild Wild West. During the Civil War, the Militia Act of 1862 would create the USCT, United States Colored Troops. After the war, the military would close the program. And on July 28, 1866, the Army Reorganization Act passed. 6 units, 2 cavalry, 4 infantry regiments would form the legendary Buffalo Soldiers. The 10th Cavalry was stationed in the largest military base in Texas, Fort Concho. Racial tensions were at an all-time high in America, and there was no exception to Texas. A heated altercation breaks out in town between the Ku Klux Klan and the Buffalo Soldiers. Gunfire was exchanged, and when the smoke cleared, understanding his fate, the first sergeant, Buffalo Soldier, Civil War veteran, George Goldsby, a.k.a. William Scott, vanished, leaving behind an indigenous wife of Cherokee heritage, Mrs. Ellen Lynch, and their son Crawford Goldsby, a.k.a. Cherokee Bill, born February 8, 1876, at Fort Concho in San Angelo, Texas, arguably the most famous Indian outlaw in the cowboy era. Handsome, ambitious, charismatic, ladies man with one of the quickest hands in the West. Raised in the ways of Cherokee warriors and Buffalo Soldier military genius, he was a superb shot from a distance and by horseback. His outlaw lifestyle was crossing paths with a Cherokee Indian who served as an ex-U.S. Marshal Scout, William Tuttle, a.k.a. the Cherokee Kid, Bill Cook, leader of the notorious Cook Gang. He and his brother Jim, Skeeter, Jess Snyder, William Ferris, Curtis Dayson, Elmer Lucas, a.k.a. Chicken, Jim French, George Sanders, Lon Gordon, Henry Munson, Sean McWilliams, a.k.a. Verdigris Kid, and Cherokee Bill. From petty crimes to bank and train robberies will lead lawmen and scouts on their trails. November the 9th, 1894, Cherokee Bill, trigger-happy ways would go too far. During a store robbery, Bill executed Ernest Miller, an eyewitness to the stick-up. With higher Indian scouts and trackers, Cherokee criminal ways, popularity, and love from the community would keep him elusive. Laying low with family and female friends, his luck will come to an end. He was sentenced to be hanged by Judge Parker, March 17, 1896. At the age of 20, Bill approached the gallows. What a good day to die. Through the raging crowd, he spotted his mother. You ought to not be here. And his Cherokee mother replied, I go wherever you go. At 2:13 p.m., he dropped through the gallows. Crawford Goldsby, a.k.a. Cherokee Bill, Cherokee Cowboy, legend of the Wild Wild West.
That's so fire. I got chills when you said the mama told, he said, Mom, you shouldn't be here. And she was like, I go wherever you go. That gave me chills. I ain't gonna lie. That did.
Yeah, nah, appreciate y'all. And man, it's crazy how that just, you know, you was already on that topic and boom bop, you know, that was live.
Yeah, I knew you know about the you know about all of this stuff, but I know for sure you knew about the Cowboys and the Indians thing. So I was like, shit, I'm definitely pulling you up. I know you got something to say.
Yeah, that was dope. That was dope how they came together.
Look
but
at
yeah,
God.
Appreciate you. And I'll see you next week.
All right, I'll be there.
Pull up, y'all. Come support Boo. Y'all come out there.
Yes.
Y'all big one with Boo. And come to the after party. Y'all are welcome to the after party. It's only VIP, you know. Only certain people can get in. It ain't for everybody, you know. So, but if y'all with Miss Boo in the door, then come through, pop out, and we're gonna enjoy ourselves.
For sure. All right.
Thank you. Appreciate you, my YouTube girlfriend.
Thank you. All right.
And I'll be back next week.
Huh?
I said I'll be back next week.
All right.
Bet.
Bye. All right, so that was Topcatz. And listen, let me tell you something. That was so perfect as far as the timing. Let me tell you why. Because we was already talking about the westward expansion, and then we were just getting into the Cowboys, and then here come Topcatz, who is the expert on all of this stuff. I'm learning, but either way, that was so great. I love the build. I love how he be having his stuff just right there, like boom. Oh, what you talking about? Bet, bam. I'm trying to get like that. I ain't that organized yet. However, because I got so my brain being 50 million different places, but I think that was so dope, that build that he came up with, because it's very intricate on what we talking about. Because remember, these are the people going into the westward expansion, and they going to take the land and the people that came along with it. And those people were us, as you can saw from that video, the Cowboys and the Indian. Cherokee Bill was an Indian who was a cowboy. Cherokee Bill. Indian cowboy, one and the same. But what I was saying was, spiritually, if you think about it for real, it really does something to the subconscious to take you out of yourself and then make you pit you against your own self, and then have you figure out which side you want to take. When what was his name? I forget his name. I'm bad with names, but when he said, when Gary Cooper made the story, he said in the Cowboy versus the Indians, but the Indians were you. He was like, while you're over here rooting for the Cowboys, but the Indians were you, but they're both you. Subconsciously, that definitely has to do something really, really bad to the brain. It has to. But I want to get to this timeline really quickly. Let's get back to the timeline, y'all. Y'all get the likes up on the video, please, and thank you. And thank you to big legendary chief. I can't talk. Thank you, legendary Chief Topcatz. I will be there next year. Y'all make sure y'all pull up if y'all gonna be there. It's gonna be lit. Foundational American Indigenous Day. I cannot wait. I ain't been outside in so long too. I can't wait. So, okay, we said 1871 treaty making abolished. Gold found in Black Hills, South Dakota. We just showed you Trump with gold all in the White House. 1878, the Indian police created. Now, that's not a $5 Indian police. That's a nigger police. Okay, let's really be clear. So then it says 1879, Richard Pratt founds the Carlisle Indian School, the first non-reservation Indian boarding school funded by the United States. 1883, Courts of Indian Offenses established, designed to restrict the traditional cultural practices of Native Americans. Example, part crew dogs hold that unless permitted by Congress, federal courts could not try cases already tried by tribal councils. Now, if I'm reading this correctly and I understand it correctly, this is around the implementation of the Native American. So you're going to see the language change. And if I'm reading this correctly, it seems like the Native American is the one that's in the school, and they getting the provisions under this tribal council, right? And then it says 1885 Major Crimes Act passed expanding the power of the federal judiciary in Native American crime cases. The act placed the crimes of murder, manslaughter, assault with intent to kill, burglary, larceny, rape, and arson under federal jurisdictions, even if they were committed by a Native American against another Native American in Native territory. So basically, here's a way where they're about to lock you up into slavery, and slavery is work. That's all it is. Now, it's not all it is. It's more than work. But slavery for the construction of America that we know now, it's work. And they were, mind you, these were supposed to be people who have provisions by these treaties, not treaties, but provisions by all the things that they were agreeing on. And then boom, we need workers. Let's make it all federal. And it don't matter if you under a reservation or not. We can come in there and snatch your ugly ass up. And that's what a lot was going on. And this is the gag. I'm with Topcatz when he said it's not advantageous for us to make up new names. And let me tell you why. That is going to do nothing but further, in my opinion, it's going to further confuse us as to who exactly we are. If you think about it logically, if you just think about it logically, having a new name when you already don't know your original name, that cannot be good for any group of people. If I don't know who I am originally, and then you keep giving me a new name, I probably, the more new names I get, the further away I'm going to get from who I am. And while I don't have a problem with the term FBA, what Topcatz said was right. Nigga, that ain't federally recognized on no paperwork, on no nothing. You can't do nothing but with FBA but put it in the title on Twitter or on YouTube. It's not on anything. But when it comes down to what we need and how we need to proceed, honestly, FBA is not going to be a term that we're going to be able to use. It's not on anything. It doesn't reference anything. We need to be finding out who we were in the past so we can get back to that. Because a lot of the treaties, a lot of the laws or whatever, a lot of the things that were written in provisions, if there are any, is written under those terms, not FBA, not African American, not Black American. Now, let's get into the Buffalo Soldiers in the 1880s. Now, I told y'all I feel a way about the Buffalo Soldiers because they helped the American government, they helped the American military, and they also guarded the railroad for the railroad expansion. So basically, other Indians, this is what the government was doing, going through towns that was all land that was already owned by Indians and bull guarding it over. The same thing they do today. What they call it, eminent domain. And they had the Buffalo Soldiers and others that were defending them. Now, these were your top fighters. They wasn't no bullshit soldiers. But guess what? Them Indians was going to war with them Buffalo Soldiers behind their land. As they should. So I'm not going to lie. Although the Buffalo Soldiers was great, I really want to know, because I heard that they're a bunch of Masons. They was a bunch of Masons. I would want to know what was going through their head, why they would turn cold on the land and on the people like that. Y'all part of the brightest of the bright, and y'all go play with the government. That's that for me. I can't speak on nobody. That for me is the question that if I could talk to one of them and say, what was going through you niggas' mind? You know what I'm saying? Was it money? Was it, was it y'all being, what's the word I want to say? Incentivized? Like, what was it? It goes on, it says, through the 1880s, the Buffalo Soldiers remained on the frontier. Their main duties included protecting the development of railroads, telegraph lines, stagecoach lines, and stations, U.S. mail routes, and frontier towns. So basically, after the Buffalo Soldiers gave them the whole blueprint on the military, they made them some glorified ass security guards. And this is why the Most High said, do not mingle with them people, because y'all gave them a whole blueprint on what to do as far as a military fighting regiment and all that shit. And they turned around and made you niggas security guards while they put down railroads and hospitals. I mean, I get it. Things could have happened behind the scenes, but that's just the theory. That's the gist of it. And this, and I'm glad Angela bought this. Brought this up. She said, status with the government. When we really peel back the layers, who Black American has really had any status with the government? I don't know a real group or a person who had status with the government that worked. So did they have status with the government? Because I promise you this, if one of them Buffalo Soldiers with that status with the government would have got out of line, you don't think one of them crackers would have hung their ass at the stake at high noon in front of the rest of the Buffalo Soldiers? So then I would ask, and I'm not saying this to you, Angela, because you brought this up. This is a good question. This is a good response. And this is for people now, because they selling these wolf tickets to us to make us believe that we're going to get something that is not. Okay? So even if they felt like they could get status with the government, is that really status? Because from the beginning of their government, we've never had status in this government. Yeah, you can come back up, Topcatz. You can come back up. We've never had status in this government. You know what I'm saying? So I would wonder what was the trade-off? Topcatz could probably come and help me and tell me that. What would be the trade-off? Like, seriously, what would make y'all just say, okay, because I haven't gone into it, but what would make y'all just say, okay, yeah, we're going to take the side of these people and we're going to defend the railroads and all this stuff against my people. Now, let me say this, because I do know the origin of the railroad that was originated with black people. We created the railroad. So I don't know, because I know how history is. They'll say it happened one way when it actually was swindled another way. So maybe that's another option. Topcatz can come up here and help me. However, I just always struggle with what it was that made them go against the masses of the people and the land. Okay. But it goes on to say, while we wait on that, it goes on to say, it says they also tried to maintain order in territorial conflicts on the plains and in the Southwest. These conflicts arose with increasing presence of European American settlers in tribal homelands. While many of the interactions between Buffalo Soldiers and tribal nations served to protect European Americans, in the 1880s, some of the Buffalo Soldier units were sent to Oklahoma and Utah to keep European American settlers from encroaching on indigenous land. So it seems like they were doing security on both sides. Topcatz back up. It seemed like they were helping to secure indigenous land as well. But Topcatz, can you help me out? What was going on? How did they get in bed with the government in the military?
Okay. Well, I think it'd be easier for me to say it this way. In the beginning, the founding father, the U.S. created 1776. That was an allegiance of Indians that came together. And they had European counterparts, but the Indians outnumbered the Europeans. Mm-hmm. But they had a form of government, which was ran by the Hunter and the Seal, which the U.S. is actually going to adopt from them. So HRS Con 331 says that the U.S. acknowledged that the Iroquois, helped them create the U.S. Constitution. So these are Indians doing it. It's people that look like us. So I think before I get into it, I want to start like this, just real quick, and then we'll get right to the Buffalo Soldiers.
All right, hold on. Let me stop sharing so I can pull you up.
All right, tell me when I'm up.
You up.
Okay, cool. So right here, Thomas Jefferson, along his black great-grandson, holds a mirror to the U.S. So history's been whitewashed. Mm-hmm. Founders of America was niggas.
Right.
They came back and painted these depictions of these people. But this guy, it lives today in 2025. This was come from 2020. This is his great grandson. How could this be? Well, let's go up. So this is descendants. Meet the family descendants of Thomas Jefferson and Sally Hemings. Sally Hemings is supposed to be the slave that he procreated with, but really this was his wife. But he was an American Indian. Now, Sally Hemings' family actually came on. This is a picture of them. And they're going to actually come on the Oprah show to talk about it. Now, George Washington family is the same way. We have Thomas Jefferson family, the leader of hold up. mulattoes, them Indians and them Moors look like. Do something.
Scandal returned to the headlines with news of scientific proof now. Well, we know we've all heard of DNA. DNA evidence that has confirmed that Jefferson's sexual liaison with a woman named Sally Hemings, a woman he owned. Before we meet Sally Hemings' descendants, I want you to meet Lucian Truscott and his sister Mary. Now, they are direct descendants of Thomas Jefferson and his white wife, Martha, correct?
He never had a white wife, but watch what we about to find out.
Yeah. Now, have you ever been asked to prove this?
Never.
Check. But everybody want proof from us. We got to prove every damn thing. Have you ever, so you're a descendant of Thomas Jefferson? Yes, I am. Have you ever had to prove it? No. Check it out.
And in fact, one of the ironies about this is that the only proof that we have that we're descended comes from the oral history in our family.
So we don't we bring up oral history. They talking about our grandma lying and all this,
right?
Trying to get us to buy into this story that was given to us by someone else, like they know us better than our family. It ain't like we making the shit up. We're just going off of the oral history of the family. And no one kept more records than our people. Like everybody had the grandma that went to everybody's funeral. Like Granny had so many obituaries, so many people that
my grandma go to everybody's funeral.
You feel me? Like that's just our culture. We gonna make sure we there. If we went to school with them or just normal life, everybody. And so when they describe you by your family, it's like who your people them are. And once you tell them that, they might have a little story through the years. Oh, when we was young, we did this, we went to school. Like that's us, that's our culture. So they are just using oral history. And watch
many records. Nobody ever asked us to see our birth certificates or took our blood and tested our DNA or anything. I mean, we could just you almost get the feeling that you could sort of walk in and say, "Hey, I'm one of you," and they'd say, "Oh, well, you sort of look nice and you're white, but come on in and sit down," you know. So
you see how this shit work? So this the white side. They ain't putting records, DNA. You don't need no test. What a pen there. We got all of that. Hey, man, that's how when we turn around and say, man, you gotta be working with them people. You on some real Asian provocateur shit. But yeah, so the white descendants,
I'm afraid about it because
so they're not going to be very happy with you saying this.
All of a sudden, what's sort of been a little secret, there's just a few of us in Monticello Association. We have this little graveyard, and all of a sudden now it's out in the public, and they're upset about it because, and I'll tell you, I'll be frank with you, because Black people are going to end up being buried there. We're going to tear down the fence and open it up and make it bigger, and have the Woodsons and the Cooleys and the Madisons and everybody else buried there.
Who are Sally Hemings
yes, and I don't.
Now watch his reason for saying that, because he say they mad. He says only a handful of them white folks in there cosplaying because we steady picking up these new identities that's disattaching us from our roots, and so we can't even find ourselves in the story with all these new damn identities, and we're losing something that is owed to us. So
why all of the descendants of all of the slaves that worked at Monticello shouldn't be buried there? They built it.
They built it. They know ain't no white folk had nothing to do with that. That was theirs. The food they was eating there, like go through Jefferson. That's how I find out that okra, he loved okra. They talking about okra come from Africa. And braided they used to braid the kids' hair. Like they knew what time the goddamn slave boat leaving. Braid rice and okra in their hair, and that's how I get over here. Like they just came, told us anything.
Wouldn't be there.
Jefferson, and they have just met as you.
All right, so here go the Black family of Thomas Jefferson.
The Black and white descendant.
Talk about, and then we have people out here saying no such thing as misclassification.
How did that get passed down?
For my family is the word oral history.
The same as their family.
That's true. I have always known it. Quickly to understand, my mother lived in a household of 3 generations. Her mother, her grandmother, and her great-grandmother visited her all the time. Her great-grandmother was the granddaughter of Thomas Jefferson. There was no question of who great-grandmother was.
Okay, tell me that again.
Hold on. Because I want y'all to bear witness to the ancestors. Look how the white folk look and YT is looking. It's not a coincidence that all Indians have the same foundational story. These are Indians. But they add mixes there, yeah.
All right. My mother lived in a household with her.
So she gonna break it down. White boy say he ain't got no evidence. So she finna break it down like this.
For years. So she knew
Let's walk. Because Oprah want her to walk it down.
Yeah, I'm a little slow.
All right. My mother lived in a household with her mother and her grandmother.
Gotcha.
Her great-grandmother visited with them all through their years. So she knew Grandma Spears. Grandma Spears is the son of Madison Hemmings, who is the granddaughter of Thomas Jefferson. So no one questioned who Grandma Spears was. They knew her life. We did not need a book for that. She shared her life with her family.
So what happened in your family?
Bored. So I think I wanted to just start off to show that even the founding fathers, the U.S., they looked like us. These are our stories, and this is the reason why people trying to destiny swap with us. Benjamin Franklin, Increase of Mankind, spoke about the Europeans, the Italians, Spaniards, Swedes, French. Everybody was Negro. They were dark skinned. So it was no white YT founding fathers. Start there. The Buffalo Soldiers. I'm gonna go to this little clip. So the Civil War, we get the Buffalo Soldiers at the Civil War. The U.S. expansion gonna span out 1791. They come out with the civilization plan. And that's when they allied with is a government system in the Southeast ran already, which is very ancient. Well, they came to them. They got 1803 to get Louisiana purchased. And then secondly, they came, they created the Civil Wars all the way up in the Indian Civil Wars. And that takes us all the way up to 1861, the beginning of the Civil War. Now, the Buffalo Soldiers didn't come until later. Now, the Indians, everybody wanted to get the Indians on their side. So it's a famous battle called the Blood on Ice, the Trail of Blood on Ice. And that was what they call traditionals. And then you had mixed races. So the U.S. government made a deal with the mixed races. Now, they're still melanated. They're just European. They're just black Europeans and Indians, So they made a deal with them to come after what was called the traditionals, who was located in Oklahoma. They made their way to Kansas, and they became the first and second Kansas colored infantry. And they say the men fought like tigers. So we ended up winning that battle, and we took down the last Confederate general to give up was General Stan Wade, and he gave up in Oklahoma to us, our people, our ancestors. So boom, now after we come from here, you had what's called the Seminole Scouts. They came, most Seminole Scouts were the Confederate, many were refugees, fled to Kansas, like we just spoke about. So in 1870, they went to war with the U.S. from 1816 all the way up into the Civil War. The U.S. wanted to expand, and they came and promised them land. And this is why we got the first National Guard, and it's a famous Confederate picture of black soldiers in Louisiana. Now, they protected it because niggas always ran Louisiana.
Wait, Topcatz, because I don't want to get confused because I'm a little slow. Sorry.
My bad. Come on.
No. So you saying the first National Guard was black people in Louisiana?
Ah, yeah. Let me get
Man, watch out. I just wanted to make sure I heard you right, and I put the 2 and 2 and 5 and 5 together. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Hold on. I want to show the picture of them. And they fought on side of the Confederates.
Man, you done taught me something today. Hold on. If you got a lecture on that, I need to see that.
Oh, yeah. I break down why they fought with them. I break down why they fought with them and everything. So hold on, let me bounce over here. And yeah, here they go right here. So 1862 Louisiana Native Guard. Yeah, so these are famous pictures of them.
Wow.
Oh niggas, this is Louisiana. And reason was they were landowners. So you have the US expanding and you trying to come expand on my land.
Right.
Yeah, so they took arms to fight against it. So that's why they fought on the Confederate side, because it was already a government system down there that they were running. And even in Louisiana, they had class systems, Creole, they had different class systems in Louisiana. In 1803, that caused a lot of trouble, after Louisiana, because you already have prominent people who are here and been here. So when the U.S. come in, Battle 1812, Battle of New Orleans, and then they come back and they finish it off doing the Battle of the Civil War. So they're gonna fight for the Confederates, but then they're gonna move over to the USCTs, because what they found out was we fighting with them, but they are looking to make us an underclass under them and make us do all the hard work. So this is in Texas right here. This is in Coahuila, Mexico. This is how Mexico look, the border. So
Right.
they suits and ties. You see the instrument look like a second line out there, really. So these are the Buffalo Soldiers. This is the 9th to 10th regiments. This the football, all the sports, all of this. You go to the Native American reservations, they try to have these up, but this is our stuff, rodeo. We the Cowboys. So these are pictures of them. Let me skip down, get down here. Right here, African American regiment spent over 25 years engaging in fighting with Native Americans, mapping unexplored lands and opening the West for settlement. Now, niggas did this.
Yeah.
And this is a little background on them, but the people that the U.S. used them to fight was the Native Americans. One of the advantages the Native Americans had was the terrain and also horseback. The U.S. had problems with that. So they came to the southeastern Indians, and a lot of Indians had moved west of the Mississippi. And Texas at that time was freedom. You get there, there's no slavery in Texas. So,
and I don't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry. My great grandfather, he ran away as a kid from slavery, and guess where he ran from? Mississippi to Texas.
Yeah.
And he ran there, and he didn't come back till he was grown, but he ran there because that's where they had came from before. And once I did my genealogy, I realized my tribe really come from the landmass of what we now know as Mexico, but by way of Texas and all of that.
Yeah. So Texas was mama freedom. If you can make it to Texas, that's why it was Wild Wild West, no law in Texas. And after the revolution in the 1820s, they said we're outlawing slavery. We're not going back through that. So a lot of people migrated to Texas because they knew it was other people there that was gonna fight with them, and they're for the same reason. So, and it was freedom there until the Ashworth Act of 1840. But these are the Native American tribe. So this is the Treaty of Fort Lomaine. Every Native American that's on the reservation, they are there because they lost the battle to the Buffalo Soldiers. This is them right here being put on a. This was the last battle, the Battle of Bear Valley, which we fought them, and that ended the Native American battles. So we go to Dakotas, them calling them Buffalo Soldiers. This at West Point, 200,000-pound statue right here to honor those who taught horsemanship to white cadets for 114 years. So they gave them all their military strengths, and these false hopes that they're going to give them land and, they're able to keep their government. All they end up being BS. As we see here, the Curtis Act dissolved Indian territory, tribal governments by establishing tribal courts and subjecting all persons in the territory to federal law. So that's when they realized, well, this is years after, a lot of those Buffalo Soldiers had passed, but they still were going. Now they come out with these acts which is disbanding them, taking their lands. Now we get to the schools real quick. The AMA, this is today we get our HBCUs. Every school that, they end up running or bringing up their missionary programs to, we call them HBCUs today. So Fisk University, but they all start off with American Indian history, whether Harvard, every Ivy League school here, Hampton University, all of these are American Indian schools. They all started off. Now here's the boarding school that you were speaking about, the colonization.
Yeah.
These people that they were getting. So they came to Hampton. This is the Native American. They coming from the West Coast. And they bringing them Hampton in Virginia. Carlisle was the first. That was in Philadelphia. But Hampton Historical African American University began the program in an effort to civilize Native American. So you got African American civilizing Native American. Why they ain't never told us that? They said we were their slaves that ran away to them being their tribe. These niggas our students. These clothes they got on, we made them, we sold them clothes. They don't know how to sew clothes. And we gonna prove that. But the university sought to assimilate them, taught them English, how to dress, general etiquette to the student body, and they were required to live with Caucasian families while their time was studied. Now, this is depictions of us actually teaching them. These are pictures of us, and we don't look like no slaves. Nah, not at all. Now we come here to the annual report of Department of Interior, Volume 2, by the United States Department of Interior. And it talks about how much money they put into these Indian schools. From 1870, it went from 100,000. By 77, they was enrolling people in schools, and the project started getting larger and larger. So they start putting more out. Now, what are some of the things that was taking? Now, this is California. This is gonna go through everywhere. Some of the things they were teaching them were basket making. Basket making was taught to the girls. So when they out here talking about this their culture, basket weaving and shit, no, you learned that at school, fam. Chill out. You went to school, and you can't say I'm lying. He go to U.S. Got you right here. Report of Superintendent of Indian Schools, page 406. They taught the girls basket making. They taught them etiquette, how to set the table, that's why they didn't know how to do that. Plates and silverware and put your napkin in your lap. All of that was our culture. We had the wood, we built furniture, tables, and all of these type of things. They ate on the ground and ate with their hands. They didn't wear clothes. So as we go on, you had the Haskell and they taught them how to form. Haskell is one of the most important ones in Kansas, right outside of Oklahoma. They still in operation today. But the girls were also taught to care of dairy products and garden, crops, and cultivation, different things like this. So we taught them how to aggregate, how to feed themselves from the ground. But this is them in the boarding schools. And right here, playing Indian, playing Filipino, Native Americans, and Filipino interactions at Carlisle in the Indian Industrial School. Now, what happened was we see, the Spanish American War lasts from 1898 to 1902, and that was the U.S. taking the Buffalo Soldiers to the Philippines. Now, they brought over some of these Philippines after the war. In 1922, they came out with the Civilization Act in 24. So at that time, they didn't even have just like starting off with the U.S., they called us contraband. And then after the Civil War, they started calling them freedmen, and then you had the colored, and you had the Negro, you know what I'm saying? And then they took out mulatto in 1900 and brought Negro because mulatto indicated Indian. So they got rid of that and put Negro. So from 1900 up into 2011, when Obama took away Negro.
Mm-hmm.
Now, these people didn't have a status or a name in the U.S. government. So in 1922, they came with Civilization Act, and then 1924, they started signing a lot of them up. But what they don't tell you is all of these people weren't the same. Filipinos came 1538 to California, but this group of Filipinos that came, because a lot of Filipinos went to New Orleans as well, and with the Barreteers, and that was in 1768, 69. Now, but this transition of them, so it's a photograph in the New York Herald features five indigenous people, varying state of Indian dress, including feathers, headdresses, beaded necklace, along with the portrait of these Indians in New York in Stephen Glory, a Filipino. Like his Native American counterparts, Glory is dressed in plain style headdress that was popular in portraits and touring Indian shows. So this costume that they have on, because that's what it is,
Mm-hmm.
they're using them for plays, they're using them for shows, and this is not their everyday life. But these people are not all the same people. These are Filipinos and all this. They're classifying them all together. And that's the Spanish American War that I was talking about when they brought them over. And they called them Little Brown Brothers. Today, the Mexicans call themselves brown.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they came back. Little Brown Brother refers to a Filipino. So the Mexican, the Hispanics on the West Coast who think they brown pride ain't nothing but Hispanic. Ain't nothing but Filipinos who are now called Hispanics.
Okay.
Here they go right here. Little Brown Brothers, St. Louis Blues, the Philippine Exposition at the St. Louis World Fair.
Oh, wow.
This is a village that they recreated in St. Louis, and they have them in these costumes, and they took these pictures. Now, if we was to see them on Google or somebody was just to bring them to us, we'll think they in Filipinos, and this is their tribe.
Yeah.
This is how they come. And no, this is a show. This is at a Philippine Exposition where the U.S. Congress appropriated $1.5 million for the Philippine participation in commemoration of Centennial of Louisiana Purchase. More than 20 countries were represented. Each American state built a pavilion, but the Filipino allotment was the largest of all, with its own lake that linked the exposition grounds to the bridges. Now, this is how they're gonna create this Native American. They took that Filipino off of them. But even here, where it's showing that Why get off of that? This is more of them exposing the performers. They call them the performers. So you see them all this shit here with the TPs and all that. These are performers.
But wait, Topcatz, I don't mean to cut you off because you know why I'm laughing? Because when I be calling out the shit that they doing that's fake today, people call me a conspiracy theorist, and I can spot it. I can see it in real time. I'm like, yo, that's not real. Oh, she a conspiracy theorist, and this the worst part. And I tell them, this the worst part. I tell them, I say, in 50 years, they're gonna look back at this shit as if it was history, and people gonna believe it. And that's exactly what we looking at. Some shit that wasn't real that we looking back as if it was when it never was.
Right. And they put, Howard Taft, 27 president, he put $50 million in, and they said it was going to take 50 years to civilize these people, to assimilate them into American culture. And this is what they end up coming up with. So, no, this ain't no conspiracy theory because they let you know. This is the Lakota performing at the Indian village, numbering 36, including 7 children. They just recently returned from performing in Europe. You feel me? This is a show.
This is crazy.
The group performed for a full 5 months at the fair. All right. The superintendent was a white boy named McGregor. They all want to come home anyhow and asked him to send several trucks. They was trying to leave, trying to get out of there. The expedition marked a critical intersection between the Lakota performers and the Belgian artists, anthropologists. Yeah, so right here, I run right through it. All of these are fair. 1904, they go to the Chief Flat Mouth at Cape Lads. They go to Ojibwe village. This is what they looking like. Grass rooftops over here, Irigat village. These are set up stages and carnivals that they're performing at. You know, right here, what this one get me the most. But this is a World Fair of the Seminole Indians. For many years, World Fairs held the United States featured recreated Native American villages. Recreated. So y'all recreating our shit, and that ain't even how I was looked at, but y'all recreated like a Plains culture and brought it out. But they said they recreated these villages where customers would pay to see inhabitants go through daily lives. Now you got the Chicago World Fair, you got the 1940 fair was smaller, but these are the pictures that we see today. These are the pictures that the Seminoles in Big Cypress on their reservations, they have these pictures up as if this was real. This is coming from a postcard. This is a postcard here at Chicago, Illinois Fair. Stop it. 26 Seminoles living in the Indian village at Chicago World Fair. And they got this up as a representation of their ancestors, as if this was their culture, really.
That's crazy.
And so again, Fort Myers, here go a village located. This is Cypress. That's why I had went to what I'm talking about, and Big Cypress right here, spring, and they call it tourist season. When I went in there, I ain't see not one Native American in that whole museum, and it's like 10, 12 miles. I saw nothing but YT people, because YT people just use these people as a buffer group, and they keep all the money. Yeah, but I'll leave it there for that part. Yeah. I think that's enough. That's enough. Look, before we get out of here, I got one on New Orleans. It's about 10 minutes, if that's cool. Y'all done got me and brought me on. I said I was taking off today and just gonna keep
I'm already looking for a new thumbnail to put you in there. You on Educational Friday.
Turn up. You know, more people have a lot in common than not. That's a deep desire in all of us to be happy. You know, manifest destiny. The law of attraction is real. I always tell people, if you can imagine it, then it's a reality. I think we sometimes feel like we have more time than we have here. You can feel like you're living, and that shit can become kind of unappreciative, like waking up to the same shit or being content in the same place. And I think it showed me how big the world really is and what it really had to offer. Life is short, and you have people who would play it safe, play it by the book. But sometimes they really should let go or jump. What are you waiting for? The experience. You know, because when life is over with, you know, all you left with is your experiences. And I think that's what it's all about. And it makes you appreciate life. You know, like even though I ain't come from like a Muslim background, but like whenever I tap into the culture out here, melanated people indigenous to every, but except North America. It is not a coincidence that African Americans are the only people on the planet without a birthright. They tell you your history starts with slavery. Your history does not start with slavery.
I'm in New Orleans. This our culture. You know, the Indians, we going crazy right now, man.
New Orleans, Louisiana, the blues, French quarters, food, Bourbon Street, and of course, the unique spirit, atmosphere, and sounds are ingredients that preserve the original culture of the ancient aboriginals of North America.
Many of the customs and traditions of the North American Indians are preserved today by the black Indians of New Orleans.
Halito, that means hello in Shatta. Ayoba Ana Taha, that means joyful return of the day.
It's our tradition.
Say I'm the big chief on Mardi Gras Day.
Today is a joyful day for our tribe, the Chichoma Chapatulas. We have received a proclamation from Mayor Cantrell recognizing the Chichoma Chapatulas as a tribe, indigenous tribe of New Orleans, Louisiana, and all through the Delta, all the way up to Canada. So we have been here, and now we are reflecting our lineage and our heritage, and we are so proud of this day. Yakoke.
You know, we're going crazy. We're in New Orleans. That's what it is, the culture. You know, Mardi Gras, the Indians, we go crazy. That's what we do.
In old New Orleans, black slaves were free on Sundays to sing and dance together in a field called Congo Square. After the slave rebellions of the mid-1800s, blacks were forbidden to assemble except on Mardi Gras. Today, New Orleans blacks, organized into tribes, still gather on Sundays to prepare for Mardi Gras and continue an old tradition.
You gotta take the history!
Many of the customs and traditions of the North American Indians are preserved today by the black Indians of New Orleans.
A long time ago, they used to fight. So they couldn't.
Hear what he said. He said many of the customs of American Indian culture is being preserved today by New Orleans Indians. Facts.
And
they couldn't practice together.
My bad, what you say?
No, and I was gonna say that's why I was trying to tell them people in New Orleans they're trying to go that black route. If they want to say their culture, they got to go the indigenous route because that stuff is protected under being indigenous, but they don't know.
Yeah, and they know who that is. I mean, they preserving it. Without New Orleans keeping it going, a lot of people we wouldn't even have the image. We'd be looking to Easton Woodland, no disrespect, but a lot of them are like, you know, they got Native Americans and white folks all mixed up. But you come to New Orleans, it's us.
Yep.
So, yeah, that's the best representation. That's why they said the New Orleans Indians are the ones who preserving and keeping this alive. So they got a lot to do with it. This is my first video that introduced me to like the Indian communities, how they found me.
Because they were enemies. They just fought like that because they thought that was to be an Indian, you have to fight.
That's a fact.
During the old days when there was fight, when my spy boy signaled to me that another tribe is coming, everybody tighten up. I tell my second line, look here, we getting ready to meet somebody. We got a gang we gonna meet.
I'm a chief. When I meet another chief, he's supposed to make me get on my knees. You know, and Creole, umba mean what? Down. Huh?
Then more
umba. Get on your knees. Now, how could I kneel with all this on me in that big crown? That's an insult. So then you tell them I don't kneel on. And that's when the fighting starts. That's what starts the fight. You meet your umba. You know umba. Fire boy is the one, he's way up 3 blocks from the chief. And he's got a pair of binoculars on him, and he's looking to see if he sees some feathers, other tribes coming. And if we see other tribes coming, he got the dance he do like that, you know what I mean, trouble coming. And then the flag boy, get that flag and he make the sound of me, you know, start doing that with the flag, and I know we getting ready to meet somebody. So I know 3 blocks ahead that I'm getting ready to meet somebody. And that tribe, they got their spy boy doing the same thing. So when you get ready, one tribe get ready to meet another one, man, they're uptight. If the guy carrying a gun to protect me get close to me, then the other guy, they're doing the same thing.
May 28, 1830. President Andrew Jackson authorized the Indian Removal Act, forcing the people of the Southeast out of their ancestral lands to relocate west to Indian Territory. It is known in history as the Trail of Tears. The Seminoles of Florida, still subjected to slavery and U.S. laws, they would find shelter in Mexico, where in 1829, Vicente Guerrero, the first black president of Mexico, outlawed slavery. The new arrivals would contract with Mexican government and guard the borders. They would become known in history as the Seminole Scouts.
And they were so bad they never lost a man. That's how bad they were. They never lost a man.
And you know what's crazy? My daddy used to be a spy boy. That's
yeah.
Big Indian. My daddy used to be a spy boy. We would just talk about that, but go ahead.
Music not copyrighted.
U.S. generals back in Florida. In 1870, he would join forces with the U.S. to eliminate the threat of the Plain Indians, who referred to the Seminoles as the Buffalo Soldiers, who would win the West and rebuild railroads and develop towns and posts for the U.S., who would once again not live up to the treaties. The Buffalo Soldiers would never get the land that they fought for.
Yeah, they never got that land. They fucked over.
Can you pause it right quick? Because I have a question.
Traditions. Still,
man.
Because maybe you can help me understand. Okay, so now I feel like I understand. So basically, they got played, the Buffalo Soldiers.
Yeah,
because they were fighting for themselves, right? Obviously, and for their land, but under the assumption that they were going to get some type of land provisions from the U.S. government if they help prevent, if I'm saying it right or if I'm getting it wrong, help me.
No, you're right. So basically, they were outside the jurisdiction of the U.S. They had their own governments.
Correct.
So the U.S., since the U.S. fought them from 1811, 1812, all the way up to the Civil War, they came to them in 1870 and said, we'll let y'all continue your own government, your own land outside of U.S. Y'all don't have to join us. We just want to contract y'all for y'all military genius.
Gotcha.
And so once they fought the battles and won them, they turned back around and played on them.
Gotcha.
So that's why W. Du Bois, see, this is 1870. This is gonna lead all the way up. The Buffalo Soldiers went all the way up to the 20th century. They never got that. So they kept letting them die off, but this war still being fought. Because a lot of them were older men at the time when they came to them. And so the younger generations that came up, they're not, after 2-3 generations, you're not familiar with the, what took place with granddad and them unless it's passed through the family.
Right.
And a lot of them were trying to get that, and W. Du Bois blocked it at the conference in Paris, where they actually was trying to bring resolution to them, because we were helping the U.S. win so many wars, and the Europeans felt like they can beat the U.S. if the colored soldiers did not fight in it. So they were open to hear, the colored soldiers. They were open to hear their testimonies and try to find a way for them to not fight in the war because they would have a better chance beating us without us if we didn't fight. They knew we was the niggas that was doing the scratching. And W. Du Bois and people like this here blocked them from getting their voice heard. But yeah,
still carried by the descendants today.
But when you think of a cowboy, you're probably picturing this.
So they would often make the cowboys in the books and the movies white because a lot of white people would not go to see a movie or did not want to read a book about a black cowboy.
And so the image of the cowboy got whitewashed.
Black folks love country too.
You heard that? Yeah, the image of the cowboy got whitewashed. Yeah, ain't nobody want to go see a movie of a black cowboy, so they made them all white in Hollywood. And so history and people, picked up and felt like white folks was the cowboys.
Right.
But like he say,
whitewashed.
Black folks love country too. Actually, we started the country. We were country before country was cool.
When I said, this is my first video, a lot of Indian people I was telling them we have a culture, because before I came, they didn't know what they was doing. They talking about Native Americans stole that shit. I'm like, listen, homie, you got a culture. Country culture is indigenous culture. We don't nobody know the land like a country person. From fishing, the river system, the trapping, the mapping, to knowing how to get your crops and knowing when to pull them out. I mean, all of these things were us. We were the sharecroppers, and we were the people that tilled the land and worked the land. And yeah, so this was our world.
We got people, horse clubs from Alabama, Mississippi.
I won't fade to look one day.
Platinum Riders out of Atlanta.
Freedmore, North Carolina.
We got Cobbtown here. See, we ain't saying the anything about the Georgia family, but we all done came together here. We got Maryland. We got, I just want to say thank you for everybody. We got Raleigh.
Up to South Carolina, they call me big country. I'm really from Mississippi, so I'm representing the state of Mississippi first.
We got New Jersey, got New York.
How y'all good folks doing? My name is Bobby Hampton. I'm from Cleveland, North Carolina.
We got, all you clubs, we want to say thank y'all. We got Tennessee, Kentucky, everybody's out here. South Carolina's in the house.
Notice all them people from different places, and when the music came on, they on the same beat.
Correct. What is that? What this is? I won't go. Shoot.
It's in North Carolina. It's called the Ebony Horsemen. And yeah, they still be doing their thing. So this what I want Fade to turn into, because we got so many tribes and people come from different areas. And they put all these people together and they turned the music on and they turning and twisting, and they been had their boots on the ground. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, before the new Resurrection, which I approve of. They say, why you guys never go to powwows? Oh, we go to powwows. We just have our own. You take a look, this is them at their powwow. Costumes, man. You take a look at us. Tribes from all over the Mississippian culture, the South, the Midwest, Southeast. Now I want you to take a look. This is them with their couple dances. They finna do the kid and play on. I want y'all to play real close attention. Okay. And now I want y'all to see our culture. Uh-oh, somebody hitting them. Yeah, they can't do it. Bitches can't okay. Do it like, yeah. This is our couples. Yeah, it's the same thing. We do the same thing. We just don't call it a powwow. No, they getting it from us. This, they trying to destiny swap. Okay. They can't move like that though. Right. Yeah, they can't. This before boots on the ground. Yeah, that's how you cut a rug. We should see traces of their culture throughout everyone else here culture. Look at this shit. They should be the dominant culture. Come on. But it's not Southern culture, country culture. It's the dominant culture of North America.
Soul food is comfort food. Soul food is comfort food. It's satisfying. When you eat it, you know. Your taste bud says yes. Your taste bud has to say yes. It has to say yes.
If they don't say yes, it's not soul food.
It's not soul food.
3 pieces of chicken, macaroni and cheese, collard greens, candy yams, and we can't forget about peach cobbler for dessert.
Yeah, we'll take it off there because I ain't never seen nobody get dressed up and went to a valet at a 5-star Native American restaurant. Never. I never seen nobody stop at a fast food Native American restaurant. And so for people to say that they are the people of this country and there's no traces of their culture, they don't even have a food culture here. We just showed that they were brought to schools and taught by us. And so this destiny swap that they're trying to do, you know, because they card holding citizens, of these nations, which don't mean nothing because we seen Ice run up in there. Oh, so yeah, evidently somebody knows something. And so I just wanted to show that. And it showed the Indian with the cowboy. Again, we in alignment with the topic. So appreciate you giving me your time.
No, thank you, because you just came in and made a whole lot of stuff make sense. Now I understand. So they got tricked out of they stuff. But I always tell people, go back to the original commandments. Don't mix with them people. Don't deal with them people. If we wouldn't have never dealt with them, we wouldn't be here. But
nah, for real.
But thank you, Topcatz.
Yes, man. Yes,
coming back up. I appreciate you. Y'all shout out the Big Chief Legendary Topcatz. Y'all make sure y'all check him out on YouTube. Tell them where to find you at, Topcatz.
Y'all can find me at Legendary Topcat right here on YouTube. Legendary Topcat _22 on Instagram. And Big Chief Topcat on TikTok. Even I don't really be on there. But
he be on TikTok too. My bad.
I don't really be on like TikTok. They need to step their bars up. But y'all can come check us out at Fade next week. Get the doors out. V gonna be in the building, and she doing it up. She Josing. Yeah, Nowlands way. You did.
Yep.
You be cool. Enjoy the rest of the evening, sweetheart.
All right. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So y'all, that was Topcatz. Y'all, shout out to Topcatz, bro. When what's crazy? I manifested Topcatz. I should have told him this while he was on here, but I manifested him and I didn't realize I did it. So I came on YouTube. I was on my channel and I was like, man, I said, don't nobody want to talk about the Black Europeans. What about them Negro-peans, them Black Europeans? And I swear to God, like a couple of days later, Topcatz popped up in my feed talking about the Black Europeans. And at the time, I didn't realize I manifested him, but I did, because I was like, I don't see nobody on YouTube talking about these damn Black Europeans. And it's the craziest part. When I ran into Topcatz was saying, I'm the only nigga on YouTube talking about the Black Europeans. And I said, man, if this shit ain't destined, you see what I'm saying? Like, I really believe our meeting was destined, because it's like I asked for something, then boom, here come Topcatz. And then he's saying, I'm the first nigga coming on YouTube. You see what I'm saying? And he had been on it. So I just think that everything happens for a reason. I know everything happens for a reason. But with that being said, I knew he was going to be able to come up here and give us more answers. And it makes sense with the Buffalo Soldiers. So according to what we just heard, the Buffalo Soldiers were their own jurisdiction, had their own laws, their own land, and they were fighting or training and working with the United States as kind of like contracted people, but they ended up getting screwed in the end. My thing is, now that I have a better understanding, I get it. I just think that in the future, because this is what's going to happen, we're going to get our stuff back. It's not a question of when or if, it's a matter of when. But when we get our stuff back, ain't no more intermingling. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. We seen where it got us here. We ain't going back. Does that make sense? So I don't know who's going to be in charge. I don't even know if I'm going to be here. But if I'm around, I'm going to propose ain't no more mingling. It's a wrap. Because this is how we got here. The little eensy beensy bit, and they destiny swapping down to the ground. Taking our identities, our names, using fake media to make it as if it's real. You see what I'm saying? And just like Topcatz brought up that picture of a play that they passing off as real history today, that's exactly the same thing I be telling y'all on the Morning Joes. They be taking this fake stuff. I'll give you an example. Let me think of something. It could be anything. Like they'll take a movie. I'll give you an example. They'll take the movie with Cynthia Erivo playing Harriet Tubman today. But in 50 years, they're going to reference that movie and say that Cynthia Erivo, and say that Harriet Tubman was whatever nationality Cynthia Erivo is. And they're going to pass off that photo or that movie as if it's real. This is what they've been doing since the beginning of time. I've been peeping that. I peeped that. I feel like I know I'm not the only one, but I know it's the only one that I heard of around me that was peeping what they were doing. They will put out some stuff that most people won't care about at the time. So for instance, we don't give a damn about Cynthia Erivo playing Harriet Tubman. We don't give a damn. We just not going to watch it. But this is where the problem comes in. In 50 to 100 years, they're going to tell the people there that that was real and that Cynthia Erivo is the real Harriet Tubman. And guess what? They're going to take the story of us, of a Black American Indian story, and turn it into whatever African nation Cynthia Erivo is from. So let's say she's Tasmanian or something. I don't know. They're going to say, oh, yeah, Harriet Tubman was a real character, but she was from Tasmania. Look, we have history to prove it. And then they'll go get the video or the old picture of Cynthia Erivo playing Harriet Tubman, and then they'll pass it off as it real. And this is the worst part. 99.9% of the people just gonna go with the move. Most people not even gonna question it. And this is how they screw us with the witchcraft, the mind control, the mind jibber-jabbling, and also with the false lies. You have to find out the history for yourself. Don't listen to me. Don't listen to nobody. Listen to you. Do your own research, because these people be lying about everything. And the fact of the matter is, white people, especially the ones you see today, don't have no power. The ones that had quote unquote power, they been gone for a long ass time. Most of that stuff we scared of is mostly propaganda. Most of that shit didn't even happen the way they said it happened. Okay, but that's a whole nother story. I first of all, thank you to Topcatz for coming on here, because he just provided so much clarity to me. And he was off tonight, but he came back in, you know, to look out for me. Shout out to Topcatz. I owe you a drink. I got you, Fat. Money Mo Smiles, thank you for the super chat. Says thanks for taking time to educate us. Oh, thank you so much, my love. Thank you. Out the Matrix, thank you for the super chat. Says happy Educational Friday. Thank you. Y'all get the likes up on the video. Cookie MC, thank you for the super chat. Says this is a fire live. Thank you. I gotta make another thumbnail to put Topcatz in it, because we definitely need him on there. Thank you, Cookie. Deserving One, thank you for the super sticker. I appreciate you so much. Joseph Galloway, all right, we still making it rain. Shout out to Educational Friday and Joseph Galloway. Thank you so much for making it rain, boo. I make it rain. I make it rain on them hoes. I make it rain. I make it rain on them hoes. Thank you, Joseph. Says tuition. This was an epic live. We got to get Topcatz back over here sometime. He got to come back over here and make it great. Okay. Thank you, Joseph. I appreciate you so much. And Kawana, thank you for the super chat. Says, love it here. Great live, Vu and Topcatz. Thank you. Shout out to everybody in the building, especially a special shout out to the legendary Big Chief Topcatz and BCU. I am a member of BCU, of card carrying member. I love the knowledge that he dropped. This brother is just so knowledgeable and so smart, man. It's just ridiculous. Anyway, with that being said, y'all, we're going to end it here. We'll be back next week. Nope. I'm going to be flying out to Houston. We're not going to be back next week. Sorry. I'm going to be in Houston on somebody's grandfather. I'm going to be in Houston on some stolen land and stolen Earl. I'm going to be on somebody's old clear grandfather trying to get reparations, okay? So I will not be back next Friday, but that's okay. Reparations now. Reparations yesterday, okay? And reparations tomorrow, girl. Do you want to reparate or not? Do you want us to get reparations or not? So I'm not going to be here next Friday. I'm going to be working on reparations. The Real China Doll, thank you for the super chat. Says, congratulations on your award. You deserve it. Love you, boo. Oh, love you too. You know what? And I forgot about the award. I am so appreciative, man, and I ain't even there yet. I'm just excited, man. Things is just happening the way it's supposed to. And I'm excited to be a part of this journey. I love y'all down to the ground, man. Let me get up off of here. I'll catch y'all on the next one. Not next Friday, because again, I'm going to look for reparations. But the Friday after that will be bike. Love y'all. Nope, that's Thanksgiving. I'm going to be looking for reparations again. Another Friday after, we'll probably do an educational Thursday or something. We'll figure it out. Love y'all down to the ground. I'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace.
Can you hear me now? Oh, let's go! It's your boy Big Chew, the voice of the beat. You know what I want? Blaze up! Come on, Blaze up!
It's the beat for me!
Wah, 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 for your guy, for your B-O-Y. Drop it for your guy, for your B-O-Y. Do it for your guy, for your B-O-Y. Come on, baby, we live! For your boy, for your boy, for your boy, also for your boy, mix it for your boy.
Daryl, how you give the voodoo doll time to talk? I don't get no fucking time to talk.
Who the voodoo doll is?
The nigga you just had up here.